All right, earlier this week, had a great opportunity to catch up with John Taumeopeau. Had a sack against Baylor 2 weeks ago. He's been working mainly with the second team of BYU's defensive line, but has become, I think, a key cog on the interior of BYU's D line because I have been really impressed with his ability both pass rush and in run stopping because he seems to be adept at both. The funny thing about this is you will learn is he was not trained to play defensive tackle his entire life. It's actually a more recent move for him. So without further ado, here's my conversation that I had with John Taumeopeau after practice earlier in the week. You're a guy who came from the junior college ranks, came to BYU.
Yes, sir.
Give me a sense of just how the transition has been as you make the transition to Power 4 football.
Oh, man, it's been great. I think me going to junior college has been a really good experience. Just coming from there and just going that route makes you a more hungry player. And I think coming over here, there is a lot to learn. You're going against the best of the best every day, and a lot of great competition coming in every day. So, it's a big change, but we love how I love the competitive, and I love everything that comes with it.
Now, your connection to BYU, as I understand it, was via Jan Jorgensen, who's now at New Mexico, because he coached you down at Snow and everything.
Yes, sir.
How big of a role did he play in you picking BYU?
Yeah, honestly, it was him and also my D-line coach, Coach Bua. When I came on my visit, loved them both. When I was down there at Snow, I was recruited by Jan to come to Snow. I played for him for 2 years, and then he left to BYU, and obviously, then he picked me up. But just me coming on my visit, just being with those two coaches. My parents loved all the coaches, and once I found out Coach Jan left, I was a little sad. But this was the place I wanted to be, and I just stayed committed over here.
Now, I know you're a guy who's from Washington originally. Do you know much about BYU growing up?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. It was only Utah that I only heard of, but never heard of BYU when I was growing up. I was a big Oregon Ducks fan growing up.
Okay.
With Anthony Thomas and Marcus Mariota. I was just a kid loving that. So I never really heard of any teams from Utah, but until I came out to Snow, and that's when I started knowing a lot about Utah.
Okay, you mentioned the fact you felt like BYU was the place for you. What sold you on BYU?
Oh man, just the love, just the brotherhood and everything that came with it. When I came on my visit, it felt like a family atmosphere, It felt like a family environment where, the brotherhood from the coaches, they really care about you and they want you to be the best person on and off the field. I think that was the biggest thing. And one of my first times during the springtime, we did a True Blue Hero, and never done anything like that, the True Blue Hero for the kids and everything and all that stuff. So, man, when I experienced that, I was like, this is a whole different school. No other football team is doing this, and no other football team is going out their way to make a big impact on other people's lives. So, it's just, I love this place, very competitive place, but also makes you a man on and off the field.
Well, we talked a lot about off the field, but I want to talk about on field with you. Against Baylor, we saw you get a sack in that game. Now, obviously, it came because of the intentional grounding, if I'm not mistaken, and everything.
Sir.
But give me a sense of how you feel like your game's developed over time here.
Oh, man, I think just the reps. I think just, the more practice I'm going at every day, the film study that we're going through every day, and just having the best coaches. Like Coach Anderson with Coach Bua, man, they know a lot about the game, and they've been playing the game a long time. So they're very two good mentors and the best mentors to learn from, So I think for me, just reps and learning from the older boys, just to slow down the game and, just take my time, and I'll be able to be great at the game like I want to. So that was the biggest for me, is just I had to get more experience, more snaps, more reps for I can get used to the game, and I feel very comfortable right now,
Did you play defensive tackle at all before you came to BYU?
No, sir. I always played DN. I always played DN, but when I came to D1 football, I had to be real with myself, and if I want to go far in this game, I'm gonna make my bread and butter inside. So, yes, sir.
Do you bring, because
obviously with that sack against Baylor, you can't show off your pass rush element. Do you still feel like you can still have that impact getting after the quarterback that way?
Yes, sir, I can. It has been a big impact going from outside pass rush like to inside, because you have more smaller space inside, you know. So it is a lot to learn inside, but I've been watching a lot of film on great players like Byron Murphy, you know. But I still think I can use my speed and my power to my advantage that I came from outside to inside. But I think I'm getting a hang of it real well. Against Baylor, I had a lot of good one-on-ones that I won and stuff, but that quarterback just kept on getting out quick. But very happy I got one that day.
Well, you talk about a quarterback who gets it out quick. Noah Fifita, very good quarterback, guy who likes to throw the ball really quick. He likes to process it very quickly. What does that change for you guys on the D-line with a quarterback of his caliber?
I think, honestly, it doesn't really change anything for us. We know he's a pretty small quarterback, so our biggest game plan for the D-line going in this week is we just got to collapse the pocket. And then we got some big boys up front. We put our hands up. He's not going to have no throwing lanes, and he's a gap. So that's our plan for down the middle. We collapse the pocket. We make him go outside and stuff, and our ends will be there. Our spies will be there, you know. So that's our game plan, just to shut him down as a thrower and stuff, just not being able to make him see, you know. So the most important thing is just rushing to the backfield and also getting our hands up.
They've got a couple of guys, I think Sione, if I pronounced his name correctly, on the offensive line that are projected NFL-type guys.
Yes,
how big of a challenge is that preparing for guys of that caliber?
Oh, man, I love it. Always growing up, always wanting to go against the best of the best. You know, it's just, I feel like it makes me hungry. And especially our D tackle room, I feel like it should make all of us hungry. You know, we get to prove to the world and everybody that's watching that game that we some real dudes on the D-line too, you know. So it's going to be an exciting matchup. He's a very good player, looks very good on film, so it's going to be very fun going against him on Saturday afternoon.
I wanted to ask you about playing in Lavelle Edwards Stadium. I asked Crew Wakely about this, and he said, I had people, because before he played at Utah State before he got here, so people were telling him, playing at Lavelle is like it's one of a kind. He said, I didn't believe it until I got in there. Did you have a similar type experience?
Oh, man, that first game, it was a blessing. I think when we was running out the tunnel, I think my eyes were watering up. I was just, man, I was like, this is crazy. It was a sold-out stadium, and I really found out what type of fan base it was the Kansas State game. Man, the Kansas State, from the Rock, from all the families, just it's a sold-out game, the whole crowd bumping, going crazy. Never heard anything like that before in my college. I think we won one of the 12th man in the country.
Last thing for me, I haven't asked you about this, because you're 5-0 to start this season.
Yes,
What's
sir.
the mindset of the team right now?
Man, the mindset of the team is honestly just working every day, you know. We can't look ahead to the future. We can't look to the past. We got to look at every day as we got to work every day. We had a player meeting, and the biggest message in that meeting was 1-0 every week. 1-0 every week. So we just got to keep our heads low. We can't get too excited. We can't let any distractions get to us. We just got to keep working like they looked at us before the season started. So that's like our main message. We can't let any of this get to us. We still got to think we're an underdog team, and we're going to keep working every day and working every week, and that's our goal, 1-0 every week.
There you go, John Taumeopeau. I want a big thank you to him for taking the time. And yeah, this is a guy that I think his best football is ahead of him, because as he acknowledged, he was a defensive end growing up, like sacking the quarterback, but understood if he wanted to compete at a higher level and be a better player, and as he mentioned, live his dreams as a football player, needed to bulk up and move inside. And I think that his pass rush ability, it's shown itself. Obviously, that sack against Baylor, it was given to him, obviously, due to the fact that they had the, the intentional grounding call against Baylor in that game, but it's a sack all the same. And here's to many, many more for John and the rest of the BYU defensive line, but they've got a very tough job, as he acknowledged, keeping Noah Fifita in check. The other thing I think that guys like John Taumeopeau can offer for BYU is their taller bodies, and Noah Fifita is not the tallest quarterback out there. Get your arm up. Do exactly what John Nelson did to start that game against Baylor. Get a hand up, deflect that football, and hope one of your teammates comes down with it for an interception. I expect BYU's defensive line to obviously try and get after Fifita in the pass rush, but if they don't feel like they're getting very close and he's already ready to throw that football, get your hands up. Make those throwing lanes as minimal as possible and make it tough on him to see anything downfield. He knows where number 4 is. They seem to have a preternatural ability to connect no matter where they're at on the field, but you got to slow him down and force other guys to be the hero for Arizona, and it's going to be one of those back and forth affairs. What does Jay Hill have schemed up to attack this Arizona offense, and vice versa? What does Arizona have cooked up to take advantage of BYU's defense? And it's one of those chess battles. It's obviously going to be fun watching it play out Saturday afternoon.